What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. The past few weeks we've been working a lot on the S2000, and it seems like the majority of like the car scene, whether you drive a manual or whether you drive an automatic, one of their first mods always seems to be a shift knob. As I was kind of browsing, I was like, what do I want? Do I want like a long stick? Do I want a ball? Do I want like something not like traditional, like a normal shift knob? But today in this box, we do have the shift knob for the S2000. But the main reason why I wanted to make this video is I wanted to know like your guys' thoughts. Like, does the type of shift knob you have matter? Like, in the grand scheme of things, is a shift knob really that important? Yes and no. Like, some people I feel like are really, they kind of like want multiple shift knobs depending like if they're daily driving. If they're on the track, it kind of makes more sense to have like a shift knob that's better for, you know, shifting, performance, that type of stuff. But let's say you're daily driving, that doesn't really matter. So we do have a white shift knob, nothing too crazy. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to get something a little special in terms of like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I ended up getting it with Japanese characters, which I thought was pretty dope. It's like, it sticks out enough to where it's like, oh shoot, like if you're paying attention, it's like little details, stuff like that. I found this one on eBay from a company called Shift Solutions Co. They had so many different shift knobs. I was like bouncing back between like 3 or 4 of them, but this one seemed like the most unique one. So this is gonna be like my first manual shift knob. If you guys didn't watch past videos, this is my first manual car, the S2000, my first manual car. So what we need to do now is we need to go downstairs and install this and see if it makes a difference. So for those of you who have never took off a shift knob before, in the S2000, there is a locking nut underneath, so you just need a 14mm. Turn the locking nut clockwise, and then you're gonna take this guy off because you're going to be using the other one that came in the new shift knob. So you can just screw this in. This is just gonna be used to make sure that you can line up the shift knob numbers aligned. This will just help with that. I think if you just straight up just screw this in, it's just gonna be off, and if you end up just screwing it in whatever, without this, it's just gonna be like, instead of it being like this, it's probably gonna be like that. And you don't want that. First attempt, off. Second attempt, still off. Third attempt, you're almost there. Fourth attempt, I'm getting pissed. Yes, sir. Looks pretty accurate. Took me like, I don't know, maybe like 5 more tries to get it. It's a lot of unscrewing, adjusting the adapter nut, unscrewing this, screwing it back on, just to double check. But it looks nice. Nice. Okay, it moved. So maybe I do need to keep adjusting it. And one thing that I wanted is I didn't want the shift knob to look like it's being choked by the boot. Some I've seen where it's just like it's just suffocating the knob, and it just looks weird. So I think this looks fine. Like, this looks cool. Like, it doesn't look like it's just suffocating the knob. I feel like if I want like the longer stick, not the long stick, I feel like it'll block my vision for the phone. Now that I figured out the freaking locking mechanism with the shift knob, let's go ahead and measure it to see like the difference in weight between the stock shift knob and the new one. 8.46, and with the new one, 6.50. So doing the weight comparison between the stock shift knob and the new shift knob, just based on the weight, the stock shift knob is heavier. But I think the reason why you get the new one is because it just feels better in your hand. Pause. Whether you want, you know, something that fits better in your hand, or if you want like the stock shift knob feeling, that's really up to you. Like, as I'm holding the shift knobs in my hand, the new one it just fits better in my hand. The stock one, like, of course it's heavier, but like it's just so small. Like, I'm not saying that it's bad, but like it just feels better. So if you're looking strictly for weight and the grip feeling doesn't really matter to you, maybe sticking with a shift knob isn't a bad option. But just because I want something a little more cool and something that is a little more stylish, something that fits better in my hand, you know what I'm saying? Gotta go to new shift knob. So there she is in all her glory. Of course, the sphere is bigger than the stock shifter. It looks better, it feels better in my hand. So I give a thumbs up. So ultimately, let me know what you guys think. Like, do you guys think a shift knob really matters? Like, should I even replace it from something different? Is it mostly just for looks? If you're tracking the car, or if you're going for time attack, does it matter more then compared to when you're dailying? What do you guys thought? So now what we're gonna do to test out the shift knob, we're gonna go to the gym. So we'll test it out and see how the shift knob feels like. Yes, sir.
Stepping out, giving it down by where our feet lined up. Get your ass squished.
I still haven't gotten very good at filming while shifting at the same time, so don't roast me if I'm not like recording myself shifting with the shift knob, but it feels great. The sun is like blinding me, but now that I made it to the gym, a few observations just off of like my driving to the gym. The shift knob is unscrewed now, so I probably should have brought the wrench. I had no idea, so I have to tighten it again because once I tighten it all the way, it's off. Once I get home, I'll just adjust this, but man. The shift knob feels great though. Like it feels like really good on my hand. I'm sure that's like what the main purpose of getting a new shift knob is. But I think I wish I just got it a little bit heavier. So now we're back home, and a few things about the shift knob. I don't know if any of you guys ran into the same issue when you're installing an aftermarket shift knob, but for some reason it just like, it moves. And you might be asking yourself, like, what do you mean by it moves? If you have like a solid color shift knob where it's just like, let's just say for example, it's just straight up red. It doesn't matter if it ends up like shifting 90 degrees, 180 degrees, whatever it may be, but it doesn't really matter. But when you have a shift knob where there's like numbers on it, obviously it's gonna matter now, because like let's say it's in neutral right now, like of course first gear isn't straight up and second gear isn't to the left. That's as tight as I can tighten it, but of course first gear is not down here. So I don't know. Do you guys run into that when you install aftermarket shift knobs, or is it just me? Is it the adapter that I'm using, or do I just have to like keep playing around with it? So I love you guys' input in the comment section down below. I would just love to see, like, does the shift not really matter, or is it all just like a placebo? Like, it doesn't really matter. You're just doing it for looks, and whatever shift knob you get is all personal preference. I'm just curious. That's the reason why I made this video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely give this video a big thumbs up. We will be working on this car a lot more. I just wanted to get like the basics done, and we have one more video before we start getting into the G portion of the channel, so definitely stay tuned for that. We will have a lot more mods for this the whole year. We just want to get everything done in January that I kind of thought was absolutely necessary. So if you guys aren't already, subscribe to the channel down below, and until the next video, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.